Hey YouTube, it's Tanya, and I am doing my 5 year check-in. My 5 year surgery anniversary was on November 17th, and I just have been super crazy busy. And so when I made my last video, I asked if people would be interested in making like a real 5 year video, and a few people said yes, and I had some questions submitted on there. So then I think it was yesterday, I asked on Facebook if anybody had questions. I got a ton of good questions for a 5 year update. So I'll quickly do my stats just as a general starter. So my highest weight ever was like, I don't know, like 12 years ago, maybe. It was before I got pregnant for my son. I was in the 290s. I lost weight on my own because I couldn't get pregnant. Never got down really far, but lost probably, I think I got down to 220, I think was what I was when I got pregnant for William. So I probably lost about 70 pounds on my own back then. Had two kids, life happened, I started to regain, and I caught myself before I got all the way back up to the 290s. And when I started my pre-op diet, that was in, I think, the very beginning, like I want to say November 1st of 2011. I was 273, I believe. Yeah, 273 point something. And then on the day of surgery, November 17th, 2011, I was 255.6. And I reached my I won't even say goal weight, because I didn't really have a goal weight. I reached this point where I stopped losing about 9 or 10 months after surgery, and I got down to the mid 160s, and 164 was always my happy place, and I stayed there somewhere in like the 161 to 167, 168 range for a couple of years. In November of 2013, I had tummy tuck, fleur-de-lis, big incision. It did not remove all the skin that I wanted. So in December of 2014, I had a revision that reopened up my vertical incision from my chest bone all the way down to my pubic area. And they removed more skin. And quite honestly, I could probably have more skin removed above my belly button right now. There's still loose skin, and I think it's just, I'm 42. I always forget to say I'm 5'7". But I just have a lack of elasticity between being in my 40s and having my skin stretch for so many years. I just don't have much elasticity in my skin. So I could easily have more skin removed. But yeah, so right now, so that 164 was like my happy place. And then I did have regain. After about 2.5 years, I really started struggling, and I actually got up. The highest I ever saw was 191, which was like, heart wrenching. And then I struggled for starting a little over a year ago, just really trying to buckle down and get back on track. And moderation just did not work for me. I would have to reduce my calories to about 1,000 calories a day, and I might lose a few pounds, and then I gain it right back. And so in the summertime, I did a lot of research on the ketogenic diet, and in August, I started that keto diet or way of eating, and it's been a miracle for me. I think my biggest problem is with sugar. We all get addicted to sugar, and getting it flushed out of my system has been what has helped me not have cravings, not have hunger. Do I still want to eat? Hell yeah, I'm a foodie. I like to eat. I like to cook. But that has really helped. And now I range anywhere from like 173 to 177 on my worst day. So I'm really happy with where I am. I've definitely built up a lot of muscle. And when I look at pictures, comparison to when I was in my 160s to the 170s, I'm way happier with how I look now. Would I love to get back into see the 160s again? Yeah. But if I don't, I love the way I look now. So, all right, we are 4.5 minutes into the video, and I haven't even gotten any questions yet. So here we go. 5 years post vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I was going to try and organize the questions, and it was too much. So I'm just going to kind of run through them. Let's see, what resource did you lose to learn about the ketogenic plan? I actually did searches on YouTube, And I found a lot of researchers who had lecture like 1 hour, 2 hour lectures. And that's how I started learning about the ketogenic plan. I think I actually started searching keto because there's a couple of YouTubers who said they were doing keto. VSG is like Drea VSG and I think Lindsay Broussard, I want to say. And I was like, oh, let me go see. And when I started looking at it, I'm like, well, shoot, this is what I did post op. It's a bit more strict because I don't eat yogurt like I did post op. But other than that, it's pretty much what I did post op. So it just seemed like a natural plan for me. But I'll put links down in the description to some of those videos that I first watched to learn about keto if anybody's interested in looking at that. Um, Oh, that was from Teresa Ahrens. This is from Christina Schultz. What ended up being the biggest surprise, both positive and negative, with WLS? My biggest surprise, negative, was I really thought that once I got to my goal weight and maintained for a while, that it would all just come natural and I wouldn't really have to think about food anymore. I would just make my food choices and I wouldn't have um, to consciously make an effort to stay on track and to maintain my weight. And I went through a really angry stage when I realized that that wasn't going to be the case. I was probably about 2 years, maybe 3 years out, that I realized this is going to be an ongoing battle for the rest of my life to make a conscious effort. And so that was a big surprise for me. I really just thought that it would all go away. I guess I was naive. My biggest surprise, positive, um, was how much of life I had been missing out on and activities and fun things, options that I could do that I didn't even consider when I was heavy. So, and I'll probably talk about that more with some other questions. Okay, so Ria asked, do you feel like you are living in the real world as far as food goes? Do you feel like you're always thinking about your diet? Is this something you're always going to fight, or can you let it go a little bit now? So, in terms of like the real world, probably some people would think I'm not living in the real world, but I'd say um, I'm living in my real world now. So, by real world, if we mean real world like fast food and crap food, no, I'm not living in the real world because those are not part of my everyday diet anymore. And I don't look at commercials for new fast foods and think, oh, I wish I could try that. It's not even a blip on my screen. It's not the way I eat. It's not what I look forward to. Am I always thinking about my diet? Yes. I think about my diet every day. I mean, there are things that I have that are staples in my diet, but I do make a conscious effort to think about what I'm going to eat for lunch, what I'm going to eat for dinner. I'm a planner. If I don't plan, I overeat. That's just I do. So yeah, I do think about it every day, and I do let things go a little bit. I'm not as crazy strict as I used to be. Um, but I also realize that I can't let things go consistently. I plan to let things go. Like it's probably once a week, maybe. I mean, it's not planned out. Like on Saturday, I'm going to have blah blah blah. But if I know I have an event coming up, I will be stricter, um, like during the week, and so that way I know I can go off plan and not really derail myself on the weekend. So but that is my real world. I do feel like I am in the real world, but my real world has been modified. Let's see. I have lots of questions about regaining, getting back on track, and I'll probably just address those all at one time. What has been your biggest struggle? Um, Probably my biggest struggle was going through what I like to call the adolescent phase. After I had my tummy tuck and I kind of went through my crazy stage, and I had this feeling of like I need to have every experience now. Um, and it was like a really, really selfish stage. That was probably my biggest struggle, was getting on the other side of that without ruining every relationship I had in my life. But luckily, I am on the other side of that. Um, let's see. Penny Bordelon asks, what's the average day meal meal plan like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, whatever. I do have several videos, and I can put links in the description of full day of eating videos that I've done that shows just like take you through a day. But I can just run through something real quick. Like right now, since I started keto and I don't have hunger, I've gotten into intermittent fasting, which is like basically, I'm not super strict on the timing of it, but it's basically going anywhere from like 12 to 16 hours with not eating food, which would be like from 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock the night before through to a late lunch the next day. So basically skipping breakfast and having a late lunch. It's not that big a deal. I phased into that by just having like coffee in the morning with heavy cream. And then now I kind of go back and forth. Most days I have black coffee with just a couple of packs of Truvia. I have two big cups, like 14, 16 ounce cups every morning. And that gets me through the morning until I have lunch. And then lunch might be like a salad with like meat, bacon, eggs, full fat dressing, something to that effect. Maybe like lettuce. I'll do lettuce wraps with like mayonnaise and like roast beef and cheese. Anything kind of nice and easy to have at work. In the afternoons, I might have a snack. I might not have a snack. If I do have a snack, it's usually like pepperoni and cheese roll up things, or like a roast beef and cheese roll up. Uh, that's really basically my only snack I would have in the afternoon. And then dinner is any kind of meat that the family has, like grilled, oven baked, something like that, with a vegetable, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, another salad, just some kind of meat and vegetable. And then like for a late night snack, I might have pork rinds, cracklings, nuts, maybe more cheese, jello, something like that. So pretty basic, and I kind of stick to the same things over and over. But like I said, I'll put the links to the full day of eating videos down below. I'm struggling with setting correct macros for a keto diet. Any suggestions? Yeah, I'll post the links to a couple of keto macro calculators. It'll tell you like about how many calories you should be eating and then what your macros should be. Let's see. I need to come back to some of those questions. Do you still, or did you ever consider any foods off limits? Yeah. Bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, anything like with grains. I considered off limits completely for a long time, and now I don't have any foods that I consider 100% off limits, but probably 99% of the time I won't pick those. I won't pick bread, rice, pasta, potatoes. No, it's not even a thought in my head. I might have a bite of somebody else's if something looks really good. So I wouldn't say it's 100% off limits, but it's not something I would ever buy for myself or order for myself. It's not good for me. So do I think it still tastes good? Hell yeah. But it doesn't do anything to help me, so it's off my limits. Let's see. Becky Reddick. Vitamins is my favorite topic that everyone seems to take too casually. Do you still take them religiously? Yes. Every single morning, I take my vitamins. I've taken vitamins since before I was trying to get pregnant for William. So that was like 12, 13 years I've been taking vitamins. And then after VSG, I got even a bigger list of vitamins that I take. So yes, vitamins to me are very important. I take them every single day. Very rarely do I miss taking my vitamins. It's actually just part of my routine. As soon as I get up in the morning, I get up, I brush my teeth, I go to the kitchen, I get my 16 ounces of water, and I take my vitamins. Let's see. Jessica Lopez Morales asks, portions. How much do you eat at each meal? I find that 3 years out, I can eat a whole lot more, unfortunately. And I wonder how much someone further out than me can eat. Probably how much I could eat at 3 years is about how much I could eat now. I definitely can eat. And that was another question somebody else asked. I can definitely eat a lot more than I did in the first year. Probably in the first year, I can only eat maybe 2 to 3 ounces of solid protein and a little bit of vegetable. Now I can probably eat 4 to 5 ounces of solid protein and half a cup to a cup of vegetables. To me, what I can eat now is what an average person could eat. Like with an average size stomach. I feel like my stomach before surgery was really large. So, yeah. 5 ounces of meat is definitely my max. And then the vegetable on the side. I I do have some days where I can't eat hardly anything at a particular meal. I'll eat 2 ounces of meat and I'm like, ugh, I'm done. I cannot eat anymore. But that's not the norm. That's definitely not every day. That might be a couple of times a month that happens to me. And I don't know. I haven't figured out any rhyme or reason as to why that happens. Um, uh, Janet Zelensky, I think is how you say her last name, asked, "How do you deal with envy?" And she kind of clarified after, like, envy if people in my life were envious of my weight loss. And I'll say I don't feel like I've had a lot of people in my life who were envious of my weight loss. I have had a couple people, and I'll tell you, I handle that the same way I handle any other negative um, feeling that I get from somebody, whether it's envy or just negative in general. I shy away from people. I'm not confrontational. I don't feel like I have to get my point across and make a big bold statement to them. I just remove myself from any situation where I have to interact with them. And I'll still be cordial with those people, and um but I ignore. I don't ever feel like I know I'm never going to change anybody or anybody's opinion about me. So what's the point? Why waste my energy on that? So I just pull back. That's how I handle that kind of thing. Um, let's see. Sarah Robeson. Love you. How do you always manage to stay so fabulous and fight the good fight? Oh, it comes natural. Seriously, what is the number one piece of advice you would give to a newbie? I'd also love to know if it has changed over the 5 years. Actually, no. It has not changed over the 5 years. When I was early out, I used to follow Sally Wimbley, and she had said in one of her videos that you need to commit like your life depends on it. And if you don't care enough about yourself to do that, commit like somebody else in your world's life depends on it. And I think that is the best advice. This is a huge life change, and you have to commit to it. You can't go into it half-heartedly. And I've said that from the beginning, ever since I heard her say that, and I'll say it to you now. If you don't commit like your life depends on it, you're not going to be fully successful. You might temporarily have success, but if you're not committed to the whole life change, it's not going to ever stick. Heather Burke, let's see, she's going into her 6th year post-op. She said she never gained weight back until the last few months. She's gained 10 pounds, and it's freaking her out. Can I eat double what I eat since the beginning like me? Yes, I can. And I could graze and eat all day, and I would gain all my weight back. So, yeah, yes, I'm definitely with you. Lindsay Fly asked how to stay motivated on the day-to-day with family, socializing, travel, etc. to stay on plan, especially now that you're doing keto, which is a very specific eating plan. Well, staying on plan and motivation are kind of two different things to me. Staying on plan's easy because I plan. If I'm going to be going out socializing, I know I'm going to be going out to eat, if I know where we're going to go, I'll take a look at the menu online before we go somewhere to see what food options they have. If there's no menu online or it's kind of on the fly, I always have it in the back of my mind that every place has a salad with grilled chicken and ranch dressing. Pff, easy. Almost every place has a hamburger or a cheeseburger. Get it with no bun, extra lettuce, mayonnaise. Easy. So I always have that. And I don't ever feel like deprived, like, oh, we're going to this restaurant and I have to have this food. I don't feel that way about food anymore. So, um, staying motivated, that I'll talk about the motivation when I talk about getting back on track to take off regain. Um, what are the rules you always follow that are a must? Um, Definitely the no bread, rice, pasta, potatoes. That's like a staple thing. And it's something that John reminded me about last night is I always say, don't drink your calories. The only time I really drink calories is if I have heavy cream in my coffee. Other than that, I don't drink my calories. I I don't drink frappuccinos. But maybe like a couple of times a year, I'll get that just as like a treat. And if I do, I get the light, whatever's the least calories that I can possibly get. But one of my rules is don't drink your calories. I like to chew, I like food, I like to eat. So I want to get the full enjoyment out of it. And I find that drinking my calories does not give me full enjoyment. Um, Other rules would be like staying physical, staying active, finding something that I like, maybe having to change it up if I get bored with something, but not ever letting my exercise go completely. Always staying active. Um, Beth Miller Schofield asks, "What's the most regained weight you've had, and what did you do to get back on track?" So like my lowest was 164, and then I got up to like 191 was my highest. So what is that, like 27 pounds? That's a lot. It's a lot. Um, Liz Kilpatrick asks, "What has helped you stay on track as you have for the long fight?" I enjoy my life now, and that's what helps me stay on track. Yeah, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to where I was. Lynn Zabanta, I never can remember how to say your last name. Motivation to keep moving and keeping consistent with the diet this far out. Um, like I said, my motivation is I like me. I like my life now, and I like how active I am and the things that I can do, and I don't want to lose that. So that's definitely a big motivator for me. Jennifer Beltran asks, regain, hunger, supplements, and protein, grams slash food you're eating. Still doing keto shakes and supplement protein? No, I do not do protein shakes. For a while, I was doing some shakes after a hard workout that had BCAAs in it, but even that I've given up. I don't do pre-workout anymore. I do not drink my calories. I think after the first few months when you can eat solid food, you do not need protein shakes anymore. If you can eat meat and get enough grams of protein in through chewing, I think you should chew. I think that's the best thing. Protein chewing, I think you should chew. I think that's the best thing. Protein shakes, I don't think after the first initial losing phase are unnecessary. Unless you're working out crazy hard, 6, 7 days a week, and you cannot get in enough protein through eating, then yes. But if you can eat your meat, eat your protein, then I don't think you need protein shakes. Um, let's see. Elena Perez, how do I change my mindset that it's a new way of eating and not a diet? You gotta do that for yourself. Like, you have got to tell yourself, this is the new me. This is my new lifestyle. You can't look at it like there's an end game, like I'm going to get to an end point, and that's what a diet is. There is no end game. This is the rest of your life. There's no, like, when I hit goal, I'm going to do, but no. When you get hit goal, you're going to do the exact same thing you're doing today. This is the new life. I don't know any magic way to put it to change your mindset other than you have to tell yourself every day, this is your new life. This is it. Um, Lindsay, this is a really good question. What is your why? What's your anchor when faced with something delicious and it's not on plan? And I thought, what is your why? That is excellent. My why when I had surgery and my why now are two different things. When I had surgery and made the decision to have surgery, my why was I didn't want to die. My dad had heart surgery when he was in his late 40s. I was in my mid to late 30s when I had surgery. And I remember thinking back to how my dad was when he was in his late 30s. And he actually looked really fit. He wasn't really, way overweight. He could do things that were very physical. He looked good with his shirt off. And I thought, well, shit, I don't even have that now. And if I am in this horrible condition compared to him when he was in his 30s, and when he was in his 40s he had to have heart surgery, where am I going to be when I'm in my 40s? And I was really afraid that I was going to die before my kids were grown because I was not taking care of myself. So my why when I had surgery was that I did not want to die. I was on 2 blood pressure medicines, and I just was headed down a really bad path. Now that this is my new lifestyle, my why is that I love the things that I do. I love the activities that I can do because I'm healthier and I'm fit, and I don't have weight limit problems, and I never want to go back to having my food choices and my lifestyle choices hold me back from being able to do things that I love to do. So that's my why now. And what's my anchor when faced with something delicious? Basically that, like, do I like wearing the clothes that I'm wearing? Yes. Do I like feeling good about myself? And one of the things too is, like, I associate myself now with being healthy, with being a healthy person. And sometimes I'll think to myself, like, is this something a healthy person would do? Is this something a healthy person would eat? And if the answer is no, then I just don't do it. And because I like thinking about myself that way. I don't want to think about myself as not being a healthy person and making unhealthy choices. Am I perfect? No. I do make unhealthy choices sometimes. But 90% of the time, at least, I would say I try and make healthy choices. Let's see. Kimberly Augusta asks how to stop letting those little things such as sweets creep back into your life. Honestly, I couldn't until I did keto. And then once I was off of sugar for like probably the first 2 weeks, it's been easy. I don't even think about it really anymore. We'll have sweets in the house and I don't get cravings for it. So but getting through those first 2 weeks is tough. You got to white knuckle it. But once you stop eating those sweet things, you'll stop craving those sweet things. It's just cold hard facts. Um, and then she also asks how not to get discouraged and how to get back on track after regain. For me, I had to get completely disgusted with myself. I was mad at myself for not being able to fit into a lot of the clothes that I used to wear, cute clothes that I've spent a lot of money on. And I think until you get disgusted with yourself and you sick of your own shit, then it's hard to get back on track. You got to get to your new rock bottom, which is different than the rock bottom before you had surgery. But you have to just get over your own bullshit. And um, it took me a long time to get over my own bullshit. I was kind of getting complacent and happy with good enough, and I would not be happy with it, and then I would be okay with it, and then I finally just was like, no, I'm clearly not happy because I keep playing the same stupid game in my head, and I wasn't happy with it. Jennifer Mahoney, how do you stay motivated each and every day? Kind of talked about that. I mean, how many times a week do you work out? I work out 3 days a week. Um, I do an hour of step aerobics and an hour of body sculpt. So I'm doing the cardio and the weightlifting stuff, and I love it. I feel like the weight stuff is what's really transformed my body. I've always done cardio. I used to do it maybe 5 times a week, 4 or 5 times a week, and but my arthritis, my body just does not like that. So now I only do it 3 days a week, and I take a rest day in between each workout because my joints really bother me. But I find that this helps with my recovery. Do you feel the journey gets harder or easier the further out you get from surgery? I think when you hit maintenance, the first couple years are really hard. That gets harder because there's no excitement. There's no big reward for staying on track other than the scale doesn't move. It's not like when you're losing, the scale keeps going down and it's exciting. Um, Now it's kind of the same old, same old. So I won't say it's easy, but I'm used to it now. So yeah. What are your go-to foods that keep you on track? Oh, this is from Lori LaRue, which good name. That's a good Louisiana name. Um, my go-to foods, and then she wanted to know a typical day. So I talked about the full day of eating. That you can look at that. And my go-to foods right now are bacon and eggs, cheese, um, roast beef, like deli sliced roast beef. Um, the little cracklings, I like that for like to give me my crunch. Chicken. I need to eat more fish. I do like fish. I just don't cook it that often. Um, but yeah, a lot of eggs and cheese. That's my go-to foods right now. A typical day with I get up around 5:30, 5:45, and get ready. I get to work around 8. I eat lunch around anywhere from like 12:30 to 3. I eat a snack around maybe 4 o'clock before I head to the gym, or maybe I skip it completely if I'm not going to the gym. Eat dinner anywhere between 6 and 8 o'clock, depending on if I went to the gym or not and what my schedule's looking like. I'll probably eat some kind of snack between 8 and 9 o'clock, even though I really don't want to eat after 8 o'clock, I still do. And then I should go to bed at 10:30. On a perfect day, I go to bed at 10:30, but in reality, it might be like 11:15, 11:30. So I probably only get about 6 hours sleep at night. I'd love to get 7, but I'm a night owl, so it's really hard for me to go to bed at night. 11:15 is even difficult for me to make happen. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah, that's all of the Facebook questions. And then I had a couple of YouTube questions. So Amy, which congrats on finishing your chemo. I'm so excited for you. You're a true warrior. She asked, "What's my size now?" I am right now. I'm a 10. Some things I can wear 8. Some things, if I want something loose, I might wear a 12. But I'm probably a solid 10 right now. Are you able to wear clothes you bought when you hit goal? Almost everything, yes. The only things I can't wear that from when I hit goal are things that are really tight in the chest. My boobs went from a double D down to a B, and now I'm like a solid D, depending on what it is, which bra, maybe a D or a double D. And so there's some clothes at goal that I had at goal that I cannot fit in because my chest is too large, which I don't hate it. um, she said, "You've had so many things happen: VSG, hitting gold, 2 plastics, regain, keto, lots of different types of exercise. I'd love to hear how you think each thing contributed to your success and struggles over the last 5 years." Um, okay, so obviously, I don't think I could be where I am today if I didn't have VSG. That I could not have changed my way of eating without the portion control that VSG gave me. So that's number one. Um, Hitting goal was like a dream come true. So it gave me that feeling of anything is possible, which spills over to other parts of my life too, which is nice. 2 plastics gave me the confidence. Like even after I hit goal, I knew my body still. I did not like the way my body looked, and I still did not have confidence because I still felt like I was hiding under shapewear. The plastics has given me confidence that even if I have little bulges, love handles, whatever here or there, um, it doesn't matter because I like what I see when I don't have clothes on. So that's what plastics gave me. The regain and then taking off some of the regain with the keto has given me a new confidence that it wasn't the beginning of the end. It could have been the beginning of the end and the beginning of gaining it all back. But now I know, nope, nope, I have the tools. It's all me. I can do it. I have a new confidence in being in control of my diet, what I eat, and my body. So that's what that's given me. My exercise has given me the knowledge that I always need variety. I've changed things that I've done so many times, like walking, trying to run, doing step class, doing the weightlifting, half marathons. I need to always shake things up and change things up. And now I know if I get tired of something that there's always something else around the corner that I can try out. Yeah, I like my fitness. I like changing things up. Right now, I've been stuck on stuff for like a year now, which is probably a record for me. But yeah, it's given me the knowledge of variety is the spice of life. And then Gretchen asked, "How do you find success in the mundane, everyday things? Since you're so far out, do you still have NSVs?" I do still have NSVs. I say it all the time. Like, wow. I acknowledge when I think, oh, I could not have done this 6 years ago. I could not have done this 5 years ago. Um, Trying on clothes still gets me excited when I try things on and I feel like I look good. Getting to do physical activities, traveling, and knowing if we travel somewhere, if there's something physical that I can do there, that I'll do it, and I won't have to think that much about it. If anything that would hold me back now is probably my joint problems more than my weight or my confidence or my fitness level. So I do still have NSVs. I think it's really important to acknowledge NSVs no matter how far out you are. I think that's it. Let's see. Indira VSG, she asked, "What do I struggle with most?" And I kind of talked about that. What I struggle with the most now is what do I struggle with the most now? Nighttime snacking. it's been it's been a struggle since early on, and it's still a struggle now. I am a nighttime eater. I'm a boredom eater, and that's when I get bored. So yeah, that's my biggest struggle now. So, all right, this is a really, really super crazy long video, the longest video I've ever made. And I remember when I first started making videos, John told me nobody wants to watch a video that's 10 minutes long. Just keep your videos short. So I always have that in the back of my mind when I make a video, and this video is going to be like 40 minutes long. So thank you for watching. If you made it all the way through, I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody's support and reaching out to me, reaching out to me and asking me questions. And um, it's never like people say, "Oh, I hate to bother you." It's never a bother. I love it. It helps keep me on track. It helps keep me focused, and it really helps make me feel fulfilled. So thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for being receptive when I reach out. And I love this community. I love my VSG. And keep fighting a good fight. Go out there and make it happen. Bye, guys.